Did I think it was inappropriate because of my role in the school to tweet what I tweeted? No, because I tweeted it. If a pastor can't say the things that I'm saying in the UK today and not find themselves in the kind of trouble I found myself in, then I'm not sure who can. Pride has become something which is sitting on a very, very big pedestal. It is set up as something almost in kind of godlike proportions, that if you were to blaspheme against pride, to speak against pride, you are somebody who is clearly morally corrupt to the stage where now people's employment is at threat as a result. But you don't have to look very far, and I would suggest that anybody who has a strong enough stomach were to Google pride events, and you will come up with photographs, as I did, of people who are naked, people who are engaged in sexual acts. That is not going to be a good thing. It is dangerous. You can't call it anything other than dangerous. The reason that I put the tweet out on that Saturday evening was simply that I just remembered it was the beginning of June, and I just remembered that it was also the beginning of Pride Month. And I felt, and I strongly believe, that this is a real danger for children. The problem with the Pride event, it seems to me, is that it is now called Pride. It was called Gay Pride. And slowly there has become a case of trying to make something which is a festival and a very clear demonstration of people being proud of all sorts of different forms of sexuality. That was what it was, and that is what it still is, but there's been an attempt to make that a softer thing, to draw children in. And sexualising children is something which I feel is just an appalling thing to be doing. And so I did make sure that it was clear that children really shouldn't be anywhere near that kind of event. These are some of the photographs that I took to show to those who they claim not to have any knowledge of Pride, and it seemed to me a good thing to show them. The sad thing is, as you can see with some of the pictures, they are full of nudity. There are people who are chained up. There are people wearing all sorts of bizarre clothing. There's one here which actually I won't show you because it's got so much nudity that it's really inappropriate. There's another one with a lot of people who are very close to being naked, if not naked. And I don't think the majority of people, certainly my experience, is that they haven't seen this. They don't know what Pride is. That they think of Pride as a festival, as any other festival, and yet it's clearly something which is a very different thing. Certainly you wouldn't want to share those images with your children, with your family. It would be inappropriate. And for the same reason, I can't understand why anybody would want to take their children to a live event like Pride where they would see these things. The whole thrust of the tweet was about keeping children safe and protected, but instead I was accused of being a child molester. I was accused of having done all sorts of things in the past, which clearly I haven't. I don't think the school would have employed me. I certainly wouldn't be a pastor. All of those things that came up, as well as people kind of baying for my blood, as it were, wanting me sacked. We had estate agents calling, telling us they were making appointments to sell the house. People coming around to the house wanting to arrange my funeral. Those can be slightly disconcerting, but we coped. Also that week, I was told by the local school that I work for that they were investigating me for bringing the school into disrepute because there'd been a lot of Facebook activity and also direct complaints about me. I don't feel I was treated fairly because I believe that the school were taking what they thought was the path of least resistance. They just wanted this out of the way. They didn't care how it got out of the way. They weren't too concerned about how it affected me or my rights. They were concerned about how it affected their publicity. And that is why I resigned. I could see that I had no choice. They didn't want me in the school, that was clear. They had really given up trying to do anything other than please the parents that were complaining, who were probably whipped up by others outside. What is happening in this situation, and I'm sure will be happening in others if this is allowed to go on, is that you have a school who is actually fighting somebody else's battle. They're fighting the battle of the Pride event organisers. It's the LGBT community's battle perhaps, but it's not the schools. And that is the concern. Why are they doing that? I don't know. Is there a hidden agenda? I hope not. But it seems that if there is an issue to be dealt with, it certainly has nothing to do with my work in the school. It has nothing to do with my preaching and teaching. It seems to have something to do with the fact that I have offended certain people and the school wants to fight the battle for them.